From the legends of Oceana to a cinema multiplex near you, fans have once again answered the call of the sea as Disney's Moana 2 rides a tidal wave of anticipation into theaters this holiday season. Before we begin, remember to check out the Honest Box Office video series that we just launched here at The One on our YouTube channel. And please, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you'd like to be a part of our growing YouTube experience. With lyrics like, "Finally, we're back to who we were meant to be," it's hard to forget that Moana has returned, a little older, a little wiser, a lot clunkier, and a bit less urgent, if no less endearing. From its opening moments, Moana 2 has a clear, been there, done that, in the same way, but different vibe to it. And that's not entirely a bad thing. Moana 2 doesn't try to be anything more than a direct sequel to the 2016 smash hit original. In case you were wondering if Moana 2 is a musical, after a few minutes, I was swept up in the bright colors and vibrant celebration of family, culture, and history. You won't leave Moana 2 with a frown. The story is simple. Moana seeks new lands, and this time brings along Maui and her entire family, while mystical adventures ensue with a hidden villain that lurks in the shadows. And while it might do a bit of a disservice to the men of Polynesia and their contribution to human history, navigation, and the settling of Oceana, when Moana sings, "How far we all can go is endless," to her little sister is, in a word, magical. Moana and her ocean is magical. The demigod Maui is back and hilarious as ever.
Can I get a chee-hoo?
Again voiced and performed by the perfectly cast Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Still, there's some confusion as to if Moana is the chief or not. "I'm not a princess," she reminds us. "I am honored to serve our people," is her claim, but I think she means to rule us. However, at least Moana's reign will be one of friendly NPCs, beautiful scenery, pork, and family members suddenly breaking into song on the beach for no apparent reason. Moana 2 was originally meant as a Disney Plus series, and unfortunately, its TV roots are hard to shake. We at The One celebrate the hundreds of artists and technicians that worked on Moana 2, but the animation is not boss tier like the original. That's okay, but viewers should be aware of it going in. "Suddenly, nothing feels the same," sings Moana, and sadly, that's true much too often. And unfortunately, unless you were a very young child, this lyric strangely haunts the rest of the film. Note to Disney, your comedy might be in danger if it's Maui's brilliantly animated tattoos instead of hey hey and animated coconuts that are the highlights of your film's humor. "I don't do sing-alongs" is one character's response to the constant Broadway musical stylings, but thankfully, most of these tunes are quite clever. Ultimately, the plot is way too complex for its well-intentioned but small-minded ambitions. Something about clams versus coconuts ends up feeling like a weird acid trip, and this is but one of the many instances where Moana 2's Disney Plus series roots begins to show its misguided tentacles. Throw-up gags, scenes where characters gag, throw up, or are thrown up upon? It's there for your lizard brain. Take that however you'd like, dear viewer. Moana 2 has got you covered. In vomit, a surprising amount of vomit. More and more, this felt like the Broadway version of Moana 2, and not the kind that would play for very long on Manhattan's famous 2nd Street. Finally, while we won't spoil anything here, we'll just say that the last 10 minutes almost paid off the entire film. Since Moana 2 is currently smashing records and will likely make back its entire $250 million budget, including marketing, before Monday, we are well aware that it really doesn't matter what rating we give this film. Still, unless you have very small children, we here at The One are recommending that you wait until Moana 2 hits streaming on Disney Plus before you give it a watch.
Sony decides to take the Spider-Man universe into R-rated territory with the ultra-violent Kraven the Hunter. Tune in for our video review, airing Monday, December 16th. For the record, we're not embarrassed to be murdered by coconuts, Gramps. And remember, if it's worth a click, it's The One.